can waste my time, my gosh. We can go there if you want it.
Alright, welcome back to the show, folks. As you can see to our right, Lexi is with us. Everyone say welcome to London town. Listen, I have questions for you, but we can start slow. So I know you're from Chicago originally.
Yes.
Chicago Children's Choir.
Yes.
Sang with Chance the Rapper.
We did our research.
No Terry. You know, through over the years and stuff like that. Recently moved to London full time. So my question for you is, you think you're better than us?
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that good enough for you?
I was like, don't make me answer that.
Sorry, like you had to fly back to the feel like you could have just been here already.
We miss you in these parts of town.
Right, so I think the answer is yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Agreed.
Great. How is it though? What part of London are you living in?
I live in Northwest. Shout out NW6.
Okay.
Love it there.
Sure.
Who's that?
Where is that?
Where is that? Okay, so I live like on the border of Kilburn and Queen's Park.
Okay.
Queen's Park is gentrified Kilburn, if you get the idea.
Yeah.
And I'm like 20 minutes from the city center kind of area. Yeah,
Do you
it's
love it?
nice. I do.
I love London.
I love it. Yeah.
So, and what are you doing out there?
I'm getting a master's.
Oh!
Yeah.
Educated.
Okay, so let me
She's
clarify.
smart.
She doesn't think that she's better than us.
Right. No, she actually is.
Yeah, she's gonna do this
Podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
She was like, Berkeley College of Music, not enough.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be an adult yet. I guess that's fair to say, if I'm
That's
being honest.
It is not great.
It's not. It's not. And I finished Berkeley College of Music May 2021, kind of during the pandemic. So I was just like, I feel like I was gypped of a year.
Yeah, what was that like? So I know it's probably a lot of digital things. Did you have in-person like graduation? Were you able to see people?
No. So I was studying abroad in Spain when the pandemic hit.
Oh.
So.
Again, another check. Well, I was in Chicago.
And I got shipped home, which was crazy, which was so
Did you have to like quarantine and all that?
I did have
lock
to
up?
quarantine. I couldn't see my parents really. That was kind of sad. I was like, and then everything was online. For all of it, we graduated online. We did our commencement concert online.
Oh damn.
Zoom sessions, Zoom live recording sessions with producers and engineers and all of that. And like our final graduation ceremony was kind of like a video production of everything. So it was cool. But
Yeah.
Not your standard.
no, I feel like that's why I deserved a second chance.
Yes.
You know?
So, go back to school and get another degree. All right.
About time that I do that.
Well, it's cheaper in the UK as well, so.
Is it?
It is.
Everything's
Yeah.
cheaper.
You're giving me ideas. We're about to be remote real quick.
Unrelated, from London.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Man, that's fine.
We were just talking. I'm surprised that you haven't developed an accent yet.
Yeah.
How long does that take?
Oh gosh. Well, I practice.
Okay.
Oh,
I
can you use a
practice.
sample?
You're alright.
Oh.
I'm alright.
You're right.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I can't lie.
Oh, that's really good actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
Damn.
You get me, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought this was the end of an LMA song.
Not that good. It's not that good.
It's pretty good.
They're probably laughing at me. But everyone, as soon as they talk, I'm like, wait, can you do that again? Like, are you okay? I'm like, it's London, isn't it?
Admit, that's my favorite one out of all of them
It's
for
just, I think
sure.
the accent makes everything more fun. You know, it's like, has an upward slant to it, it's lighter.
You get used to it, and then it's like,
It's
Yeah,
better
you can turn it
than,
off.
it's gotta be better than like, Southern accent or something, so.
you know what? I would say that, but I'm always here for a nice little Southern man.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
There it is. You heard it here first.
That's the only time it really,
I got you.
touches my soul.
Okay, let's talk about you as an artist.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I wanna know how you got your name, what was the reason behind it?
There should be a better story to this.
Okay.
I have an older brother who was a player, you know? So I one day was going through his computer and he was talking to this girl on AOL.
Oh.
AIM, shout out to AIM, throwback.
Oh, gee.
And her app was itoldlexi. And I was like, ooh,
That's
I'm gonna make
mysterious.
one.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
What did you
mysterious.
tell her? I'm like 9 years old. So I'm like, my mom will never know. I told Lexi. And then, of course she knew. She's like, why are you doing that? I was like, I'm sorry. But then it kind of stuck. I just made everything, like my Gmail, Twitter, when Instagram came out, and then it was like middle school, high school, people started like calling me Lexi, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cute.
Yeah.
I fuck with it. So
Okay.
just ran with it. Yeah.
It's cool that it like started, so like I know like picking artist names can sometimes be like a difficult thing for people. So you had it right off the bat, which is awesome.
I wasn't always my artist name.
Okay.
There was a point when I was releasing things under my government, Alex
Okay.
Dubaclet.
That's how you
But
say it. There you go. I was like, I'm not friends.
Me and Bess, I was like, I bet you it's Alex the Bucket. He's like, I don't think
that's
it. But it looks like the bucket. And like, she's trying to sell a basketball.
Yeah.
Like, bucket. I don't know.
That was rough.
But yeah, so everything else was itoldlexi, and then there was just a point when it made sense to
Yeah.
transfer
Cool.
everything over.
So who is that? What did they tell you?
Who's that? And what
Yeah.
did they tell me? Me and a lot of people in my corner rooting for me. Kind of a
Awesome
group
support.
decision,
I love that.
yeah.
That makes my heart happy.
Hey, Lexi, you got this. Yeah, she's like, I do.
I do, and it makes sense too. Like, I'm a songwriter. I'm always telling stories. Like, I told Lexi, like, littered to my music. You know, so it's kind of cool.
Did you always plan on becoming a solo artist, coming out with your own music?
Mhm.
Just from an
I
early
used
age?
to like make things on GarageBand and like download them onto my parents' phones so I could
Nice.
listen to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my brother was like doing production and stuff, and I just always was like, this is it. This is. I don't know how to do anything else. So
Yeah. Well, newsflash, you have a wonderful voice.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
Good. I was a little.
Yeah, that would have been tough. That would have been
That
tough.
was like the big news. We're breaking it up. Hey, so
Hey.
it sounded great until the singing part.
yeah.
Yes. I want to talk about your first single, 2019, Black Girl Magic.
Mhm.
Strong message, great
Yes.
production.
Thank you.
How did you go about choosing that as your first single? Because I know that the first flash into the scene, artist identity, all kind of goes into that moment. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. Let's see. My senior year of high school, which was 2017, I took an Ableton production class, and I produced like my first track, and it was Black Girl Magic, and it was like I played in all the MIDI instruments and things like that, so it was super cool. And then when I went to Berkeley, I learned how to work with live instruments in the studio. And so then it became my first project where I basically MD'd all of the instrumentation and had the live recording of it. So I was like the drummer and the pianist, the guitarist, etc. Bassist. So it was just kind of like a moment of what I'm talking about is really important. Just being a Black woman in America and kind of what that's like to me, and just celebrating my identity. And I was just proud of kind of like the transition of bringing my first production to like my first MDing and all of that. And so it was cool. My friend Raven Moran, who also is a dear producer to my heart, also helped me MD the project and kind of like helped me understand how to speak to live instruments and live like recording and just everything. So yeah, it was cool.
Right. I mean, it turned out great.
Yeah.
Blessing
It's
of the
amazing.
art.
Thank
So.
you.
telling you.
I sound like a baby now. I'm like, maybe I could be doing one
Yeah.
day.
Well, let's talk about the growth too, because that one is more. It definitely sounds live. It
Mhm.
has a lot of, the instrumentation is, I think, different than a lot of your EP
Yeah.
and the singles following that. So, can you tell me more about your kind of sonic journey?
Yeah. So I grew up playing instruments, which I play instruments,
Yes. Which
and
instruments?
it
Because
is
all you just play
a big part of my life. And so going to Berkeley and having the privilege to learn more instruments and work with different instrumentalists was super cool. But in Berkeley, I also learned to work with producers and sit in sessions and learn how to co-produce and learn how to top line, which is when a producer sends you a track and then you do the melody and all the harmonies and lyrics over it, and then it's like a 50-50 kind of writing thing, especially in hip-hop and R&B, like splits.
Mhm.
So I was introduced to that. Again, one of my best friends from Berkeley, Raven, amazing producer, instrumentalist, started sending me tracks and started top lining. And I had done a little bit of it before, like on SoundCloud, but I wasn't as into it as I was in Berkeley. And so I think that transition from sitting down at the piano and writing something to sitting in the studio and creating something was really exciting for me. And I was like, oh, and I can actually play the keys in this session that the producer is producing. And so it just made sense. And yeah, I think that was kind of my biggest transition. And then being able to go back and create acoustic versions of the production and play with it and give a different feel and kind of bring it back to home. So
I love that.
Yeah.
You're kind of learning the language
Mhm.
to kind of, speak out these ideas that are having in your head.
Yeah.
I love that story too.
Thank
Can I ask you about, so we covered the single
Mhm.
and the story behind that.
Mhm.
What led you to the more kind of modern R&B sound for your EP and then your singles after that?
One of my, how would I say? What would be one of my roommates in college? Mia Taylor, a great R&B artist, definitely influenced my R&B sound and like
Mhm.
kind of that feel a lot in her writing style. Just listening to a lot of Kehlani and her, Janae Aiko,
There we go.
Brandy and how she breaks down her
I
harmonies.
wrote down Brandy.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
There's so many
Yeah,
similarities.
because you listen to like Black Magic, I hear a lot of like Janelle Monáe
Right.
elements too.
Yeah.
And then the EP, and then especially 24 Hours, I hear like Money Long,
Oh,
yeah.
and the Brandy elements, of course. But yeah, I just love to see that progression.
Yeah, just exploring. I think the more I start to the more I understood myself as an artist. Yes, the more I began to understand myself as
There
an
we go, there it
artist. So I'm not better than you.
We'll fix it in the edit.
Full circle.
You got it, you got it.
But yeah, I did more research. I was more interested in what was out there. And research is, studying everyone that came before you. And I grew up on a lot of things, but I never listened to it with the intention of learning from it versus listening with just listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I noticed, so while listening, there's like a ton of vocal tracks behind.
Oh yeah.
Background
With that.
everywhere. I assume I already know the answer to this, but there's like intention behind that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You go in there.
I
ready
love
to
that
do
shit.
Yeah.
And God bless every engineer who's ever worked with me because I tell them straight up, I'm like,
Have
I
fun
want like
mixing it.
3 in the right for top, 3 in the right
Yeah.
for left, like just all of it. And then I go in and I add just random things, but I love it. I'm a choir kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CCC.
Yeah, that's good company.
Singing church and learning like things like that, how that works. I just love it, and I love being able to fill kind of like those silent
Mhm.
moments with sound without necessarily saying words or new words or introducing new themes. And it's cool. Different parts get stuck in different people's heads.
It makes a difference, honestly,
You can
it does.
play with the tempo and
Yeah.
what rhythm. Something's going
Yeah.
like this and something's going like this. So
Yeah, I think so much of the character of a song,
yeah.
it exists outside of just like the lyrics
Mhm.
that the lead is singing and the production. I think so much, the ethereal nature of
Yeah.
it, paints a scene.
I like
So
when
that's cool.
girls thick.
There we go.
My songs they need to be thick.
I think that's something similar.
I say that all the time. I also believe in
He was talking about me. He was talking about me. Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So question, so you're talking about inspirations, talking about, bringing your own character onto your track.
Mhm.
Who are you listening to right now that you think deserves a little bit more attention? Who needs a spotlight?
Oh my god, this is so random. There's an artist named Yeet. He's a rapper.
Yes, okay, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hear me out. Like, I'm here for all the R&B, but like I'm a Chicago baby. And we love rap and trap and drill and all that. And a lot of my flow, I'm stealing from these rappers, low key, and just like putting melodies to it and making it dope. But Yeet has this song called Way Back.
Okay.
It's so great, and it's so simple, but it's so great. I just say he needs the recognition.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
in terms of like R&B artists, there's a girl from the UK. Her name is Mira May. She just dropped an album. She's super dope, super fire R&B, trap vocals type, super dope pen game. Just insane. Huge fan. Huge fan. Yeah.
That's cool.
But you have to listen to Yeet. You have to.
I will. I
Okay.
will. Absolutely. After
I
saying
love
it like
you,
that, I
Yeet.
have to.
Yeah,
It's an
no,
homework.
I'm with you. I can co-sign that. I'm about it. Cool. Well, okay, so let's move kind of a little long term. So I've been listening to, obviously you have your EP, which is amazing.
Thank
It is called With Love, Lexi.
Yeah.
Love that name. I kind of want to know before we go into the long term
Mhm.
stuff. Do you have a difference in thought process when you're like, I'm gonna write a 4-track, 5-track EP
Mhm.
versus doing like, I'm gonna put out the single by itself? Is there like a difference in the writing style for that?
Interesting. I think I can only speak on this one EP.
Sure, yeah.
But for that experience, I picked a theme of kind of like love, obviously, in that aspect. Challenged myself to write a bunch of songs around it, and then went in to the bunch and kind of dissected it and said, these are my favorites, this makes sense. And then random, Love Tight was the last song that I got added to the EP. And I was like, something just doesn't feel like a part of me is missing. So I just went in and recorded it and I hated it. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna put it on there. I sent it to my friends and they're like, no, put it on there.
You have to.
You have
Yeah.
to, yeah. I was like, cool. Threw it in as the second song. Someone always told me the second song on the EP is the most important song when people listen to it.
It's true. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
So I threw it in there and it's just worked out. It was dope.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newsflash.
So yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So what is on the books next? What can we expect to look forward to?
Yes. Some more visual content.
Ooh.
I haven't shot a video since 2019, I think you promised. So
Awesome video. Go check it out,
thank
please.
you.
I'm not even kidding. I've just been bumping it on repeat.
That
It's
makes
amazing.
me so happy.
Yes, I
Thank
love it.
you. But yeah, more video content, some collaborations with some UK artists.
Cool.
Super cool. Just more music. More music.
Okay.
More music. I've been writing a lot and I haven't been releasing a lot. Ha ha ha.
That's like
That
sounds
literally-
familiar.
That's literally like.
Yay!
That sounds like two people in this room.
I do have a
So
single
July
coming out soon. Yes.
All right, can you tell us more about Pull Up?
Yes.
July 8th.
Oh my
Pull Up,
gosh.
July 8th.
So I'm gonna say this with the intention that I hope he hears this because this is important.
Oh.
Anyways, he doesn't believe it, but it's fine. My friends, my ex-mates,
Oh.
my ex-London mate, but we're actually best friends now. It's really
Okay,
cute,
cool.
right? So when I first got to London, I met a man. Just got there. This was like my second month there. Cool. Came back from Christmas break and like pull up literally is what happened. Like we saw each other, we started talking, cool.
I'm gonna pull up.
Got it. Yeah, pulled up,
Yeah.
whatever, blah, 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 cool. Things didn't work out, different life,
Is what it
whatever.
is.
It's what it is, but we're still friends. So now we're friends, like, we joke about it, laugh about it. He loves the song.
Okay.
And he always like, this is such a great song. So I told him one day, I'm like, it's about you. Like, he's like, no, you're lying. It's not about me, no. Da, da, da. I'm like, no, like, it literally, like, you're the only one in town. Like,
Who else
I'm
would it
like,
be about?
He's like, no, it's not me. Da, da,
So I'm
da.
sensing a communication
Yes.
issue.
I mean, you're onto something.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's listening.
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen to the song. It's right. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's okay. It's fine. We're
Yes.
homies now.
Cool. I
That's
love
why
your
not
song
for
24
life.
Hours to come out in January.
Oh my gosh! I didn't like it at first. I hated it.
Wow. Why don't you like it?
It
Not
was
long
just- It just.
I'm like, that's not you. It's 25 hours.
It could have been 25
You ever just like
man.
you're going through something
Mhm.
really. They're all true stories.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, whoever that person is, I mean,
You're the worst, dude.
I love that
Seriously.
introspective too, because like, you have the moment where you're like, I'm gonna give you 24 hours, like, just tell me what's up,
Mhm.
like, prove it, you know?
Come get your stuff.
But then you
Come
have
get
like,
your stuff.
obviously, like, I also have 24 hours to like, kind of,
Throw all your shit in the
Yeah.
box. See ya.
I was like, damn, 24 hours, that's
It's
kind
a
of
true
dry.
story.
I
It's a
don't know
true
if I would've
story.
made it.
Last year I was working a lot in Atlanta, and I was back and forth, and this was like right at the end of my relationship, and he was feeling away, and communication, maybe I'm the problem, but.
Not on
I mean,
this
that's
show.
what makes good music, though.
Right.
Let's be completely
Right.
honest.
Whatever. We broke up. I had all his stuff. He's like, I'm gonna come get my stuff, but he's like stalling because he doesn't really want to come get his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk. I want to backtrack. Blah, blah.
I would never do that.
So I'm like, I'm going to Atlanta. I would have never done it. I had
Not me.
You should hear the song. Next. But yeah,
It's a brand.
I was like, I'm leaving Friday. I'm going back to Atlanta. It was like Tuesday. I'm like, you need to come get your stuff. He's like, okay, I'll be there today. Didn't come. Now it's Thursday. I'm like, yo, like I'm out this bitch. Like you really need to come get your shit. I'm really gonna throw it away. He came. It was like a whole thing, whatever, blah blah blah. I had a session that day. Went to the session. I was sitting in with a producer / songwriter Matt Hines from LA. super amazing. And what happened? Basically, we were talking, and he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I just kicked my ex out the crib." He's like, "Oh great, let's write about this." I'm like, "Fuck."
Like, this is sitting in the trauma.
Right, so I'm like
Yeah, that's
shaking. I'm
fresh.
like low key crying, like inside internally, to the point I like left the session a little early. Like I was just a mess. Flew out to LA, recorded the song. I still hated it. Like I think I love you, Matt Hines. It has nothing to do with you, but I think seeing him in LA like brought me back to the first session, and I was just like, yo, like I'm not here for this. And then, you know, did a few little backsliding, and you know, really got it together. And then one day I was like, man, fuck that. 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we gotta drop
You
it.
can feel the emotion in that shit, straight up. I love that
You gotta
song.
go through
Yeah.
it though, you know?
I
Yeah.
had, and I was going through it. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he just stopped texting me in February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't respond.
So he probably heard the
Yeah,
song,
man.
right?
Oh, he's heard the song,
He's heard
of
the song
course.
8 times.
Well, he goes to family reunions, he's like, she wrote this about me.
Could you remember that toothbrush?
it's
No, like
One.
literally, it was everything. It was like, is my brush in your car? I'm like,
No, go get a brush.
oh, it's in the beauty supply
$7.
store.
Right.
It's my
I have
brush in your
an authentic pair of like bull shorts, like nice. If
Yeah,
I was
those are yours.
British.
Go Bulls, Chicago, baby, let's go.
I'm like, yo, can I get my shorts back? Can't
He
find
took your shorts?
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
find
those are your
them.
shorts?
They were
And he
mine.
stole your shorts?
Yes, I can't find
Dude,
them.
Of course not.
They're not in the
here
wash.
for
2 months later, I found them. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Trash.
Goofy.
Trash.
Goofy as hell.
Yes. First got a communication issue. This one doesn't be able to, he can't see very well.
Yeah. He's simply
He
finding
keeps losing his
things.
stuff. Am I gonna lose anything?
You know what? He lost me too, right?
Oh!
Her.
Come on.
Without
Oh.
any other interruptions, you have some stuff you want to play.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to that. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
This has been a blast.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug?
Anything else I want to plug?
You don't have to. It's not
Ah! I just love everyone who supports me.
Oh.
I'm such a simp. But like seriously, I'm here for it.
Heard it here first.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is super cool.
it's been a blast.
It's been a blast, yeah.
It's been a blast, huh?
See you in the
You can waste my time, my God. We can go there if you want it.